Let's go live. Might be able to catch her. Good morning. I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. It's Friday. It's the weekend, or about to be. I shuffled these cards already. And this card came out, Sunlight After Darkness, but look what's on the bottom. Shadow Dancer. Dark time at the moment. If you watch the energy update today, something's running us, something emotional is running us, and I woke up angry in the middle of the night. And then I listened to that and I'm like, and anger came out twice. I'm like, yep, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the anger. So we've got emotional times going on at the moment. The lead up to this new moon. If you're interested in a new moon reading, I've got the private readings for sale at the moment. $40 off on my website, behealing.com. Check that out if you want a private reading with me. But I'm going to do some channeling for the collective here, get some of these cards out for the collective, and you can also get a mini reading here as well. So if you're on live with me, not watching the replay, then check out that pinned comment in the live chat. It says that it's by donation with a PayPal link in there. You can use that PayPal link, or you can use Super Chat, Super Sticker now as well. That does work again. Hey Beth, hey Mandy. And yeah, so let's get some cards out. If you've got a question for your higher self, then do put a comment, put a capital Q at the start of your comment when you get one of those mini reads, when you donate, so that I can find your comment easily. Hey Jamie, how is everyone today? You good? I'm good. I had anger in the night though. I had emotional stuff come up, and it's around Mr. Last Year and treatment of me and stuff, and things that I've let slide that I shouldn't let slide. It's pretty amazing when you start being treated like really respectfully, amazingly by someone, being loved properly by someone, and then you look back and you realize there were red flags. And now it's making me angry, and it wasn't making me angry then. What was I putting up with? I mean, it was nothing major with Mr. Last Year, otherwise I wouldn't. You see, it's a shadow dancer. But still. And so it was making me a bit angry. It wasn't the stuff last year that was making me angry. It was the dream that I had of him coming back, and now it's a hell no. Got shadow dancer. We've got shadow stuff coming up today. Shadow work to do. Oh, it could be a juicy show then if we're talking about shadow work today instead of romance. Could be around romance though, but I see. A little tired. Are you? Hey, Christine. I don't think I got that much sleep last night. Not compared to my usual over 8 hours, but I'm not that tired. Not working well for you today. What's not working well? Let's get some of these out for the collective. It's gonna be the weekend, yay! I'll take most of the weekends off. Today I'm going to be recording a pick a card read, and then doing some private readings, and then that's me. Thank you, Christine. Yeah, I forgot. Purification. That's another thing as well. You know what it was? You know what it was, that dream I had? Mr. Last Year was a smoker. And I woke up with a dream, me really angry, and I could smell smoke in my room. Someone was smoking outside and it was coming into my room. And that was probably what triggered the dream, because he was a smoker. He always smelled smoke. And yeah, interesting this, hey? Purification. Because I wouldn't be choosing a smoker now. Isn't it funny? We clean ourselves up and then we're like, what was I doing putting up with someone that wasn't like that before? Hi, Maria. First card was Shadow Dancer, so we're in for a good show today. We like the gnarly work. Give it to us straight, guides. None of this romance and flowers stuff. We want the gnarly work. We want to change something. Oh, that's how I feel anyway. I don't know about anyone else. You all might be like, oh, more shadow work. Oh. I relish it. So yeah, I was angry in the night. Anger, blood pressure. Maybe I've been putting up with so much all my life that I shouldn't, you know? That without even realizing it, because I'm conditioned to as a child. That's what you do when you are abused as a child. You are conditioned, you are taught to put up with shit. How to put up with shit. You need to put up with all of this shit. So we get conditioned to do that. Feels like a tide board, stagnant energy overall. Oh. Yeah, I hear you, Jamie. Something to light me up. I've got something to light me up. Mr. Handsome. It's just consistent. It's just consistent. It's still right there, exactly the same. So, what's going on with him? Maybe making a decision about things. We've got Moon Dance here. Yeah, and it's either my new best friend or, but there's more to it. We'll see. Moon Dance. Moon Dance. Daring, balance, easiness, adventure, perspective. Look, we're getting hot flashes. Can't be that hot yet in here. Daring, balance, easiness, adventure, perspective. Look at this girl balancing on a rope, waltzing with the moon. She's dancing through life. To be this confident is a gift you should be aware of and treasure. Be brave and adventurous. Get out of your comfort zone and see life from a different perspective. If you maintain a balance between levity and lightheartedness, you can stay above the everyday noise that threatens to bring us down. Feel the night breeze in your hair and adventure in your soul. You don't need a shake up. Yeah, be careful. Careful what you ask for, right? Shake the table a bit. Okay, we've got to be courageous then. Maybe with this shadow work. Let's get a goddess out and then get on with the tarot. So yeah, if you're only just joining me, we've got a new moon in 2 days. So my new moon readings, there are some available and they're on my website and they're $40 off. So if you're interested in a private reading, you can get one of those at the moment. What else? Tonight will be the upload. Well, no, they're already uploaded. It'll be the publishing of the next week's weekly reads. They were quite something as well to record. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that shadow work's come out because, yeah, they were quite something to record. Those. Lots going on for each sign. We've got Lakshmi. I like her. Abundance. Yay. Lakshmi. It's just so freaking hot in here. My new machine, it graphs everything. It graphs the volatile organic compounds. It graphs the particulate matter in the room, which happens when I cook. It graphs the temperature and the humidity as well. So humidity goes up every time I have a shower. And the temperature though, oh my God, when was it? Wednesday, when I was recording the weekly reads for each sign, and that's 12 videos, so it takes me a long time. I'll start, as soon as I finish cafe, I'll start them, and I'm done by about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's full on. It's a lot of work. But at about 1 o'clock, the temperature soars in here. The sun gets to a certain point on the roof and it becomes an oven. And I was just pouring with sweat in the videos, even with a fan on me and the aircon. And yeah, I looked at the thing and it was 31 degrees in here. So no wonder I was pouring with sweat. Lakshmi, it's hot right now. Goddess of, and it's just been ridiculous at training as well, pouring with sweat. Goddess of fortune and prosperity, Lakshmi brings a bounty of rewards for great work. She especially favors people who have perseverance in it for the long term and put in the hard work. So make sure you're putting in the time. Abundance is coming very soon. Nice. But of course, not just hard work doing anything. Hard work that serves you. We've got to find that inner stuff first, you know, of valuing ourselves. Not just willy-nilly. Not just like codependency. Codependency helping everyone. It's like, I put so much work in, I deserve abundance. Universe is like, for codependence, you deserve abundance for codependence? Are you sure? I used to have that. I used to think, I do so much for everyone, I deserve so much abundance. But that was when I was codependent. Okay, tarot. Tarot, don't give us the Four of Wands today. I'm over it. Like, just do something else. The veil. The veil is thin, meaning that our guides are trying to help us. The veil is thin. Between the spirit world and the a cold rag. I haven't got access to my freezer to make a rag cold. The water is not cold, it's hot out of the tap because it's hot here. We only have one tap. We don't have cold and hot water here. We have water. Comes out of the tap. It's hot. How can I get a cold rag? I guess I could find some space in my fridge. Want my new fridge. The veil. So the veil's thin right now. Our higher selves, our spirit guides, they're all trying to help us. Crows, we're getting a lot of messages. A lot of messages from spirit here. The crow, here to give us messages. And the entertainer. This is a message of being curious about the path and being amused by it instead of being battered by it. Yeah. Being entertained by it. Try to be light about it. Try to be entertained by it. Like, try to be curious about it. See it as a grand adventure, like that card said. That one, Moon Dance. Hey, Mystic Visions. Yeah, see it as a grand adventure rather than being pushed around by the universe. But in the energy update, we did have a lot of emotional stuff coming up. Oh, it's your birthday tomorrow, Christine. Happy birthday. Yay. Six of Wands, victory. We're going to have victory in this. Yeah, an interesting thing happening in my personal life because he's just still being the same, still being consistent. It's just still getting to know me. We're still just exactly the same, and he showed up right away. It's like, don't you dare pull away from me. Which is my reaction. Pull away, protect. It's like, nope, you're not doing that. Okay. Guess we'll just carry on getting to know each other. Strength. We've got to be strong in all of this. There will be victory, but we need to stand strong and don't be bashed around by this path so much. See it as an adventure if you can. Strength. Be strong. So all of these rifles pointing at us, you know, this isn't like other people being aggressive toward us. This is our inner journey and the stuff that we go through. There's a lot going on at the moment in the energy, internal stuff, you know. Oh, yeah, a lot going on. One more. Two more. The Six of Swords and the Ace of Swords. This is telling me that the universe is helping us out of the pickles that we're in right now. And Ace of Swords, we will get there. We'll get to our truth. We'll find it. There is that victory. Six of Wands came out in the energy update today. There will be a victory over it around this time. Whatever inner struggles that you've got going on, there will be. Got a question for your reading, Christine? I like this Ace of Swords. It's a very positive energy behind this Ace of Swords today. We are being helped out. The victory is on its way. Okay, let's get more tarot out. Today I'll be doing a pick a card read, recording it. It'll go out tomorrow evening. Gonna do how they feel about you. It's been a while since I've done one of those. I ordered $600 worth of supplements, my minerals and everything, because last time I ordered in bulk because they got a special offer on, and because not the import duty, that's going to be the same no matter what price it is, kind of thing. It's a percentage, but the fees around receiving it because it's supplements was high. So I thought, sensible thing, right? Order a lot. So $600 worth. So I got a phone call yesterday. We've got a package for you. What's inside of it? I told them. And they said, okay, you'll need to do all of this again, put all the ingredients in, give us all this information about it. We'll send you an email about it. So I received the email. It said in the email that if there's more than 2 alike products in there, they will throw away the others. So I'm only going to receive 2 of each, but I've got to pay the tax on all of it, even though I'm not receiving it. It makes me want to go and kill them. They're going to throw it all away. I ordered in bulk. $600 worth. I've got to pay all the tax on it, and I'm not going to receive it. I'm only going to receive a small amount of it. Assholes! They better not do that. They better not do that. They better not do that. That makes me really angry. I need this stuff for my health. See, it's making my blood pressure go up. I've got anger coming out lately. Isn't that crazy? And it's just minerals. It's just liquid magnesium and it's liquid minerals. Oh, they better not. They better not. Oh man, I won't do it again. Of course, I'm gonna have to just pay at the stupid prices and order 2 at a time. I don't know why they do that, Mandy. They better not. What a waste of money. It's gonna cost me like over $1,000 just to get a few products. Not fair. Oh, it would have been so much cheaper if I'd have known that. Okay, I've got 3 cards here. They want me to take them all as well. It really sucks. So that didn't help. You see, I'm being triggered into anger by a lot of things at the moment. Dreams, people smoking outside my room, causing a dream, causing me to wake up angry. Stuff like that. Crap like that. Oh no. Like, it was bad enough last time on all the charges because it came in 2 boxes last time, so I paid big because I think it cost me about $300 to receive the products last time because it was in 2 boxes. And so I'm like, I won't do that again. Okay, we've got The Chariot here. I need to read this Chariot out. So yeah, maybe my shadow work is the anger stuff because, like I said, I know I've been conditioned as a kid to put up with all kinds of things just to wear it, to take other people's ah grenades that they were flinging. Maybe I've got a lot of suppressed anger from doing that my whole life, just being cool about anything, any way that people treat me. I've got a lot of stuff coming out about inner child stuff at the moment as well, about Mr. Last Year and his kids especially. It's his kids, so it's more the kids, and it's like, well, that's obviously my inner child. It's not about those kids. It's about me, my inner child. So I'm delving into that. Yeah, shadow work for me for sure. Right in it. Right in it. Anyway, the Chariot. The Chariot represents your inner strength, confidence, and self-determination. I don't think those minerals are available anywhere else. They're pico-sized, so it's 100% pure minerals in liquid form. I don't think they're available anywhere else. I think they've got to come from America. And the other ones that I'm taking, it's not good. I'm taking more of them now because I've had a twitchy eye, which shows that I'm magnesium deficient. So I've been taking more, but if you take too many of the normal ones that you get in health food stores and stuff, comes out your bum. The Chariot represents your inner strength and confidence and self-determination. Strength again, okay. The appearance of this card may also signify a transition into a new phase of life with bright and hopeful opportunities ahead. If you feel as though self-doubt may have a tendency to sneak up on you, know that you have the absolute power to overcome any challenges along the way. It's important to stay grounded and remain focused on your goals, but also acknowledge your accomplishments and personal victories, past, present, and future. Considering all sides gives you the strength to make positive decisions and to set your intentions clearly. Remember to weigh the pros and cons as you journey forward, and let your heart guide you with any big decisions you may need to make. It will always tell you the truth. Your heart. You had a meltdown. You got triggered by a man reminding me of a creepy past man years ago. Beat up a pillow. I can do better than that. I can go to training and beat the crap out of that. It's a good outlet, is my training for all of that stuff. Mr. Hansen's reading my mind. It's strange. I think, when you get jelly legs, when your legs turn to jelly when you're exercising, I think it's when you deplete your glycogen stores in your muscles. I think it's when they're totally out of glycogen that you get that feeling. And there's no power in there anymore, but there's also a bit of a loss of control of them. Anyway, I got that, and I was thinking my legs have turned to jelly, and then he giggled and he said, jelly legs. He's reading my mind right at that moment. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of triggering going on. Oh, I'm dizzy. A lot of triggering going on at the moment. Well, yeah, triggered. People are triggered on this island, big time. There's the, I've just heard about it this morning. There's the police. There's the, not police, but quarantine police, because some people have been doing the wrong thing, and so now, if anyone, they've done all the contact tracing and everything. That stupid woman that went around partying and stuff for 10 days after knowing she got COVID. So there's a lot of people in quarantine at the moment, including my neighbours. I hadn't noticed. But they're not allowed out anywhere. She said they're checked on every day, not allowed to go anywhere, not even to the ATM, which is in this resort as well. And yeah, so there's a lot of angry and triggered people because of that, because it is one person doing the wrong thing, you know? It's so easy, isn't it, in these times to get triggered by what people are doing. I'm so lucky that I haven't come in contact with any of the people to be a part of it. Otherwise, I'd be triggered too. But I think there's a lot of that going around at the moment, not just with the stuff that's going on in the world, because it is very triggering when you have your freedoms taken away. No matter how temporarily it is, it's really triggering. But there's obviously other stuff happening, because things like DHL contacting me like that, you know, that's triggering. That's going to trigger anyone, right? Like, you have to pay a tax on all of this stuff, and we're not going to give it you. Yeah, yeah, they're selfish people, I know. Akashic Records next. But my point being, I think it's just a triggering time at the moment because our shadow stuff needs to come up. That was my point. 22 Akashic Records. This is the pretend. I mean, this isn't in normal tarot, this card. The Akashic Records represent an energy matrix and imprint of every emotion, action, thought, word, and experience that's ever taken place throughout our conceivable universe. Historically, it's been described as a living library. That's just the first thing it came out. It says an imprint of every emotion. Historically, it's been described as a living library, great etheric space, or collection of mystical knowledge. Yeah, this is General Volta. Where was it? It connects to the limitless potentials that exist before us in all linear and non-linear directions, as well as the history of our past incarnations and soul experiences. Every living being has a unique Akashic record that is specific to them, which also contributes to the universal Akashic library. It describes the subtle energies that are each contained within us, that are constantly being encoded into our DNA and vibrational signatures. Now, it's interesting that it says that, because I have just been doing even more research. I had some time yesterday to read my book, because it was a day off yesterday, and I had I trained, I had a massage, and then I read my book about minerals, more about minerals, learning about copper, and I also watched a video about epigenetics, you know, because there was this belief in the medical community since 1960s that DNA is everything. Now we know it's not. Epigenetics, it kind of controls whether DNA is switched on or off. And so it doesn't matter what genes you have, really. It matters what you do, how you live your life, your emotional state, all that kind of stuff, whether you trigger these genes or not. And so it's not as much about DNA as we thought it was before. It's more about the environment, as in the environment that you have your body in. You know, food, exercise, your emotional state, all of that. So it's interesting that it says here, the Akashic Records also describe the subtle energies that are each contained within us, that are constantly being encoded into our DNA and vibrational signatures. So it's the mixture of spiritual and of the physical here as well. And we know that, don't we? We know that. This happens on an individual level, and after this, global, then universal. The universal Akashic Records contain the evolution of our entire universe collectively, with each of us playing an individual note in this grand orchestra of energy. The message is, from this card, when we learn that we are in fact co-creators of our own realities, we're accessing the most optimal vibrations of potential experiences available to us. Connecting with the loving source of information, inner child work, loving ourselves, shadow work is so important in all of that. Why? Because it clears up our emotional state. Our emotional state can clear up everything. That's why we're being triggered at the moment. So pay close attention at the moment to all of your triggers, because there's got to be self-love that goes in there. Right? That makes sense, right? And so it's not only affecting our spirits in a way, it's affecting us physically, our DNA. So, taking that back to what I just said before, when you're abused, you are conditioned to put up with that stuff, to push emotions down. Now, I'm not just talking like physical abuse, sexual abuse, all of that. I'm talking living in emotionally abusive cultures, however slight that is. If you think about men are taught in most cultures to push down their emotions, that it's not okay for them to be emotional. That's abuse. And so if we push down those emotions, then what are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing to our spirits? What are we doing to our bodies? We're harming ourselves. It's that stuff that needs to come out now. And we need to love it out of us. The inner child stuff, love it out of us. In other words, feel sorry for ourselves and soothe ourselves through it and go, this really sucks that I've been conditioned to do this, and that all of this anger is coming out now, and that I'm triggered by this now, and all of it is just love ourselves through it. But feel it to let it out. Feel it and then love ourselves through it. Lab Sangarampa. I haven't heard of that. So it's affecting us physically, it's affecting us spiritually. Okay, so the veil's thin at the moment. We're getting a lot of messages from spirit. We've got to kind of see it as an adventure rather than as being battered and beaten by the universe. And there will be a victory over this, but we just need to stay strong with it. The universe is helping us out of this, and our truth, it will come through. Like, there's going to be a victory, definitely. You've got the King of Crystals. We'll read him out as well. I think I like this one out of this book, the King of Crystals. Of course, it's the stabilities, the crystals, the pentacles. So what's coming up for everyone else then? Told you what mine is. Tell me what yours is. I've got anger coming out right now, and I've got inner child, definite inner child stuff to do. So much of it coming out, my inner child stuff lately. King of Crystals, business savvy, logical, family-oriented, pragmatic. It's important to think methodically with your plans. If you look to the future with a clear vision, change this view. If you look to the future with a clear vision and move forward with self-discipline and determination, there's nothing you cannot accomplish. The King of Crystals reminds us to stay attentive to detail and be open to new opportunities that show up along the way. Stay attentive to detail. There's nothing that's showing up at the moment that isn't predestined kind of thing, that isn't important, let's put it that way. Like I said, there's triggers all over the place right now. Very easy to be triggered. And that's for good reason, because we've got to notice. It's not what's triggering us. Like the energy update said today, it's not about what's triggering us. We can't go, oh, I'll just wait for the world to be perfect. We can't, because it's not going to be. We've got to do it for ourselves. We've got to do that self-love thing. Waiting for the world to be perfect, waiting for that perfect partner to show up, waiting for the perfect job or whatever. It's not the rest of the world that's going to sort itself out. It's us. We've got to go first. We're leaders. Anyway, the King of Crystals is an extremely capable and practical person. Once they set their mind to a task, they will always follow through with their work until it's completed. There's that tenacity again, it being in it for the long term, like the abundance card said, like Lakshmi here. Their pragmatism can provide you with clear and honest advice. and they're always willing to help those who ask for guidance or direction. The King of Crystals can sometimes come off as shy or introverted, but do not be fooled by his exterior. Underneath are highly sensitive spiritual beings who find deep connections to the earth and nature. They can be rigid though, stubborn, materialistic, blinded by frivolous things, shiny things, distracted, possessive, authoritative, wanting social status and recognition. That's all in the negative. So have tenacity and keep going through these triggers and do that inner child stuff. Yeah, inner child for you as well, Maria. I think it's the inner child stuff for everyone, really, because that's the foundation of self-love, right? But it could be literally anything could trigger you. Fridges not being delivered. I'm just thinking about my supplements. It makes me so angry. Oh man. And I know, and I put it all on my credit card as well, and I'm not going to be able to pay my credit unless suddenly 100 people get my readings. I'm not going to be able to pay my credit card off this time, and I never have that. And so there's going to be the constant reminder: you spent $1,000 on supplements you're not even going to receive. Assholes. So it's literally anything can trigger you right now. But it's not about that. It's not about that thing that's triggering you. It's about the emotions coming up that are repressed emotions from past. I forgot here. Christine, do you have a question? I don't know. I don't think I saw it. A question for your reading. Hey, Gabe. High self-guidance for Gabe. Gabe. If anyone else wants a mini read, then just check out that pinned comment in the live chat. Gabe. Shh. Still keep quiet. About a friend. About a friend. Let them speak. Listen to them. This has got two aspects to it. So this could be a friend is kind of testing you to see how much you'll listen, how much you're there to actually listen to them. And so refrain from speaking because they'll tell you more and more if you're there listening, if they know that they can trust you because you're actually listening. And then you'll need to be quiet about what they've told you. So someone's going to test you, Gabe. A friend's going to test you as to how present you are with them. And if you are present with them, if you're listening to them rather than interjecting, then they will tell you something important to them. They'll share something with you. Maybe something really deep, and you're going to have to keep it to yourself. We can maybe. Who am I and clear within? This might be about not trying to help them or fix them, but just listening to them. I feel like that's what it is. You're not being told to help them. You're being told for them to be able to release it. It's different, you know? And that helps them in itself. Just listening helps them, is what I'm saying. There's no help required or advice required. It's just listening. And so there's something here. It's going to trigger something in you. Maybe that helper. It could be the helper in you wanting to fix it, you know? Whereas you don't need to do that. I mean, like, I just told you all about the DHL thing. And I told you all about my fridge. Like, that's not for you guys to try and fix it for me. Do you know what I mean? It's just for me to get it off my chest. It's for me to get it out there. But when we're talking about the emotional stuff, because we're all emotionally triggered at the moment, apparently, then we can try and make it a teaching moment. We can try and offer someone advice in that. Well, you know. which isn't our place to. And I've got to stop myself from doing that. Like I used to do it so much because, like with my work, I give advice out, and I've not got to do that in my private life, not with my friends. I've got strict boundaries with myself now. I don't do that. You'll notice that if you send me messages and stuff, I don't do it. I don't go into teacher mode. I don't start working. It takes a lot of discipline to do that, but it's good because it breaks me out of the codependency. It allows me to do what I do for work without it turning into codependency in my relationships. So it could be that kind of stuff anyway. But Gabe, I would say focus on your own stuff, clear your own stuff out, rather than focusing on this friend. Just listen to them. Just listen to them and then don't pass it on. And then focus on your own stuff. It might be bringing stuff up for you as well, because of course that came out in the energy update today as well, is that we always try and help the other people with the help that we most need ourselves, right? General reading for you, Christine. Birthday reading for Christine. Happy birthday, Christine. It's going to be a big year for you. Again, more positive this time, but still a big year. Transformational. You're going to have some situations to face this, not phase. It's interesting. Phase came out of my mouth then. It's almost like you're not going to let things phase you as much this year, which will allow it to be a bigger year than it has been before. Taking everything so personally before. So there will be things, this year there will be things to let go of, but it won't phase you as much. You're going to be able to do it much more easily. So you're going to be able to face situations that have been too much for you to face before. It's going to be big. It's going to be a big year for you. What is it? Like your Saturn return or something like that? How old are you, Christine? What ages do Saturn returns? I don't know why that popped into my head. I don't know much about it, but it just popped into my head. I think they're particularly gnarly years. But don't we have them every 7 years or something like that? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. So someone help me out that knows about astrology. But you might check out your astrology, Christine, for this year. It's perfect timing anyway. Forgive them and gentle okayness. It's going to be a big year for you letting go of things. Facing things and letting go of things. So you've been putting the foundational stuff into place to get ready for this. To get ready for this year of your life. It's going to be completely transformational for you. 59. Does anyone know about the Saturn return stuff? What age? Let's Google it. 30 and 60. Or you're gearing up toward it then. Ages for Saturn. '58 to 61. Oh, you're right in it. You see, my guides, they know what they're talking about. You're right in it right now, Christine. Your Saturn return. You might want to read about that. It might help you out. So there's a lot. A lot of internal stuff you'll be going through this year, but it's very good. You've already been building up to this. It's big. Now, what about tomorrow itself? Because that's a year. They wanted to talk about your year ahead. Oh, no, they're still talking about your year ahead. You're going to be opening up to a lot more in your life. So good. It's kind of what you've been wishing for. It's coming, but the path to it within yourself is much longer than you really want it to be. You're wanting the fairy godmother to wave the wand and you to get your abundance, or your rewards now, your victory now. It's going to take some time. It might take the whole of that Saturn, whatever it's called, Saturn return period to do that. But you're going to get these signs that you're limitless. So the carrot's dangled in front of your nose of what's to come. Oh. Yeah, well, at 30, that was big transition time for me. Age 30. Was it for you, Christine? Okay, so prepare yourself for this. This is about tomorrow. Meditate and face the situation. This means get yourself prepared for this, meditate tomorrow and go, okay, bring it on, universe. Get yourself to that point where it's like, yes, I want out of all of these past patterns and all of this stuff, and I'm ready for it. Bring it on. Let's get through this. I'm ready to do the work. It's going to take you all year. It's going to take you more than that, in fact, but it's going to be so much, so worth it. And you will be given signs. Listen to those, that you've got great things coming along the way. So this is saying meditate, face the situation, meditate, get yourself to that place of like, bring it on. I'm so over all of this stuff and I'm so ready to make a big change in my life. Go, Christine! Yay! I love it. Thank you, Mandy. General reading for today. For Mandy. Mandy. Oh, what are you going through, Mandy? Who is aware and judgment separates? There's something that's happening around you, Mandy. Triggering you, of course. Mm. Yeah, and we all have different perspectives of situations too. I mean, I was seeing that on this island because, we're all up in arms about this woman that did the wrong thing. And she did the wrong thing, yeah, but we're all making judgment calls for ourselves. It's like, I talk, we train without masks on, right? And I talk to my friends that are there. I stay away from the visitors that come in there. I keep my distance from them. But the core group, I talk to them and I say, like, this is the only place I come. I'm at home the rest of the time by myself. Whenever I go out and I'm going to the supermarkets, I've got my mask on. This is the only place I come. And they're all the same. Yeah, the same too. So we know we've got like this core group of people. We are safe and we can trust each other. And so that makes it okay. But to an outsider, if someone did get COVID, right? And then everyone's going to be pointing the fingers at us, right? They were doing the wrong thing. Yeah. And so there's always a different perspective, and I'm well aware of that. We just got to do our best, right? Anyway, something's triggering you, and you've got a different awareness than other people have got. Now, we can't expect other people to have the same awareness or the same point of view as us, can we? What's going on here? Because Mandy, this feels like someone around you is doing the wrong thing. But that's from your perspective and what you've learned in your life. It's not from their perspective and what they've learned in their lives, So say if this is someone that's been like emotionally abusive or something, they just might not have learned that yet. They might have not gone through those lessons yet. And when we get judgmental about someone like that, really we're being judgmental about ourselves, because damn straight we used to be like that years ago before we learned to. So you've become aware, and that's a great thing, but don't let that just like have a higher awareness, Mandy, of what's going on, because it's okay for people not to have learned yet. You know what I mean? What else? It wore me out just saying that, Mandy. Choose to change and nurture yourself. So yeah, it's a good idea to like just like lock yourself up at home and go, okay, that's their stuff. It's not got anything to do with me. I'm going to nurture myself instead and love myself through this. So this is saying don't focus on them so much and what they're getting and what they're not getting, what they're learning and what they're not learning, what they're doing, and what they're not doing. Is just keep on focusing on yourself, nurture yourself, and choose the changes that you want in your life. It can be so distracting other people, especially what they're going through, is we get involved in that and then we forget about ourselves. It distracts us away from ourselves. So yeah. Mandy. Maybe yeah, high self-guidance for you. Son and ex-husband got COVID, both double vaccinated. Yeah, it can happen, right? It's like get the flu vaccine, still get the flu. There's the susceptible people that get it, right? But now it's everyone that's getting the vaccine. Well, not everyone. Probably the most susceptible people aren't getting it. So complicated. Maria, high self-guidance. But yeah, we do all have different perspectives on this, and we can just do the best for ourselves. Oh, Maria, you've got be vulnerable and intimacy, true intimacy. Someone being right there for you and being intimate and showing them the real you, letting them in, the vulnerable moments. There's an aspect of not running here, not putting a mask on, because that's what we do, right? We start to feel vulnerable, we put a mask on, or we start laughing, we start being the entertainer or the clown or something like that, and go, no, I'm fine, I'm happy, you know. Don't avoid intimacy, true intimacy, in other words, of speaking your feelings of how you actually are, instead of putting a smile on your face. Oh, yikes. Caught it in hospital after having a heart attack. That's not good. I ain't gonna stand up. Leave me alone, watch. You need to take a step back. There you go, Mandy. I could feel it. Yeah, it's such a distraction, right? Or we get focused on other people like that and what they're not learning. And it's a judgment on ourselves, really, of when we were back there. That's what it is. So see it as that, Mandy. It's a judgment of ourselves when we were learning that. So be vulnerable. Open up to true intimacy. It's not easy, but we've got to do it. Because you are good enough. And that's it, isn't it? It's when we're not feeling good enough just to be ourselves that we want to put that mask on to try and impress people instead of just being ourselves. Forgive yourself for that. So it's almost like you're being opened up like a little flower. It's interesting because usually it's when we're feeling good that we want to do things, go on dates and things like that. But it's when we're feeling bad that's when we should really do it. You know, like I was saying in the energy update today, when does that inner child need loving? It's not when things are going good, it's when things are going bad. But will we allow ourselves go on dates when we're feeling bad to show people the real us? No, we want to get dressed up. We want to feel good. We want to be having a good hair day and feel good. But that's not when we need the loving. Can we feel good enough to feel bad and then go on a date? Can we? Because if not, then it's a sure sign that we're not loving ourselves, right? Yeah. So be vulnerable. But you're opening up like a flower. It's not like it's not like the universe saying get it right. I did it. I didn't stand up. I didn't. Just wave my arms around a bit. Do you need to be vulnerable to the person directly? I would personally, I'd say no, but let's see what the crystals say. Yes. You know why I would say no is because if we're in these patterns, we're choosing the people that is usually not safe to be vulnerable around. I'm going through a very different personal experience at the moment, different from me. I've never had someone be consistent with me like this before. And him coming in so intensely when I'm in a vulnerable state with the health stuff that was going on for me. And I wasn't going to hide that. I mean, you know, I'm not going to put a smile on my face and try and please him or anything. He would come in, ask me how I am, and I'm like, I'm not good, not happy. And even now, it's weird because I kind of expected him to back off, but he didn't. He's still there being consistent, like that King of Crystals, being consistent. when my reaction is to back off, is to run, kind of thing. He's not. It's good, it's different, but it's vulnerable. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to pretend that I'm happy about it either. But I'm also not running away. It's a very different experience. It's a new thing to me, this whole thing. Or whatever it turns into. Very different. But the reason I'm saying that, Maria, is because it's an unfolding. That's what I was seeing. I was seeing you as like a lotus flower. Where did I just see the lotus flower? Here. Seeing you like a lotus flower opening up like that. Slowly opening up. It's a slow journey kind of thing to that kind of vulnerability. So in other words, don't judge yourself, for how much you are able to or not. Okay, I think I got everybody. Let's get back to the tarot. Okay. Wow. You're welcome. Right. We've got the Emperor out. Very stable, even more stable than the King of Crystals here. The Emperor. Well, the Emperor. Oh, I had the bookmark in the Emperor page. Power structure, dominant, stability, father. So this is what I was asking myself with my anger dream last night. If I'm considering those children, it was almost like in the dream he was coming back, wanting to come back in my life, and I'm like, yes to the children, but no to you. I want the children, but I don't want you. I'm like, okay, well, what is that telling me? It's telling me my inner child. I'm projecting my inner child onto those two children. It's not about those children, it's about me. I'm trying to do for those children what my inner child needs from me. What is happening with those children? Well, for starters, they've got a dad who, when I was with him, I thought was an amazing father. And now I'm kind of seeing maybe I'm trying to take care of them because he's not taking care of them properly. Emotionally, in a similar way that I wasn't taken care of emotionally. Is not being stable like this. And so it's my inner child that needs that stability that I want to give them. Yeah. That's my process at the moment. This Emperor is bringing it up again for me. Power, structure, dominance, stability, father. Of course, sharing my process so that whatever's coming up for you, you can kind of go through something similar like that. Whenever we try and help other people, we want to. It's always about what we really need for ourselves, what our inner child needs. When you see the Emperor in a reading, it could be suggesting that you need to take a more dominant approach to something or someone. Take back your control in a demanding situation. Think logically and rationally right now. It's just like a father would give you some sound and stable advice. Set responsibilities, limits, and boundaries, and keep control of what's yours and what you deserve in life. The Emperor may be urging you to seek out advice from a father figure type of person. I know one thing that my dad, one way I was affected of the not good enough thing. Well, there was a lot in my childhood to give me that, but one thing that's coming out for me right now is My dad had an affair and used to take me along. Yay! Great parenting. Um, that made me feel not worthy. That to me was about women, and I took a lot of that on. So when your dad is having an affair in front of you, you are, it's kind of saying, my mom doesn't matter and I don't matter because I was young and so I was an extension of my mom still. It's like the women in the family that don't matter. Yeah. That's the way that I took it on. I took it very personally, as if he was doing it to me, not my mom. And yes, it rocked my how I felt about myself and about relationships. The things that we take on as a kid, right? So we need to have super strong boundaries. Hmm. The Emperor and the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands, forward movement, communication, setting your sights on the target and going for it. Fast pace, rapid movement, traveling, taking off, gaining momentum, action, thinking ahead. When the Eight of Wands comes up in a reading, it may signify things moving at a steady pace. You could be thinking of traveling soon. Good luck with that if you are. There's an energy in the air right now that is helping you get things in a rather fast motion. Your priorities are intact and your goals are set in motion, but be careful what energies and actions you set into motion at this time because it will have a power that will be impossible to stop. Wow. Be careful also not to get too carried away by someone's idea, or your own ideas that seem amazing but not well thought through. Get ready to be swept off your feet. Okay. And look. The Ten of Cups. Wishes fulfilled. Happily ever afters. Ten of Cups. I'm going to read this out as well because I can and I will. Happiness, family gatherings, celebrations, good luck, marriage, good future. See, sneaky, isn't it? I said not the Four of Wands today, please, and it brings us the Ten of Cups instead and talks about marriage. When the Ten of Cups comes up in a reading, it represents true happiness, families coming together to be together. I trust my training family more than anyone ever in the whole world. That family, more than my ex that I talk about sometimes from 4 years ago, and that family that I'm part of here. More than the family that I've got here in this place. My training family, absolutely. Families coming together to be together. This card is signifying you and your true happiness, whatever that may entail. This card indicates full blessings. The Ten of Cups goes beyond happiness in your current relationships and goes into a deep understanding in your life and abundant state of mind. Right now, you're feeling blessed and radiant and wanting to shine from the inside as well as out, and are confident to make things happen. So, the Emperor, the boundaries and the taking that dominant role in our lives, being certain on that before we get the ball rolling, because we've all not been certain in the Emperor role and then gone for something, a relationship or a job or whatever, decided to say yes to something, set off, and then it's gaining momentum and it's not what we want in the end. So this is saying like be particularly careful about what direction you're setting off in at the moment. It's going to last. It's going to last. Let me just remind myself what this new moon is about. Hang on. According to my rings, I mean. Drop the what? I called it drop the crutch. Oh, okay. Drop the crutch, huh? Okay. Because I'm just thinking like things that start now, it might be here for a long time. I mean, we have had that message a lot, haven't we? To be in it for the long haul, to think of the future. Not that we can have any guarantees in the future. As much as we want that from readings, we can't. But we can be in the now and see what we're being shown. Friend Carly has shown me more love in a short time than your children ever have. Yeah, and you know, I've been watching that guy, whatever his name is, Patrick Tehan, on YouTube. Watching, I've calmed down on that because it was making me cry too much, but I was putting myself through too much, too much healing, too much release. But sometimes I will look at the comments on his videos to see what people have said there. And someone said in that their parents told them that no one will love them like they love them. And they say, well, thank God for that truth. They were right, because pretty much every single being on the planet has been kinder to me than my parents were. And it's like, yep, pretty much I was told that too. And yeah, it can be quite something, can't it, Christine, to be loved properly and to let that in and to really suck that up. It makes us cry when we're not used to it. It's an uncomfortable joy. It's it's not aligning with our view of ourselves, that we're not worth it, we're not good enough, we can't be loved. If our parents can't love us, how can anyone else? That's how the kid feels. That's how we still feel inside as well. Seven of Pentacles planted the seeds. It's growing. It's taking its sweet time. We need to have patience with it. Patience, 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 patience. Yeah, like I said, this is a whole new experience with me and Mr. Hanson. No matter what it is, he's very in alignment with me. And wherever it's going, it's good for me. It's good for me to have that consistency. I've never known it before. Like I said, like I've always been attracted to him, and it's just solid. I've never known anyone like that before. Just like so solid and stable. Ex-husband said, he's gonna make sure no man will ever love you. How could anyone ever do that? Here's the Eight of Wands again, the Ace of Wands, passions. Passionate new beginnings. I didn't even know that this is what I wanted, you know. It could be a carrot for me, but I didn't even know that this is what I wanted until I'm experiencing, and it's like, this is different. This is like me. Must be what other people experience with me, because I've got that stability in myself, and here is someone else that's stable too. It's very different, you know. And he's more stable than me in the emotionals, although he's not opening up about it, but that's all right. It's probably too early. We're still getting to know each other properly. They made you scared to let anyone get close to you. But pretty much, someone that would say something like that, Christine, is the worst of the worst, right? So anyone's going to be better than that. Anyone's going to love you better than that, right? Anyone's going to love you better than your ex-husband. Mm, we live and we learn, hopefully. So, an exciting new start, but we've got to wait for it. And be very careful what you're looking at the moment, what you get the ball rolling on. If you want something different, make sure that your energy and your focus has changed. Maybe make sure that the way that you're going about things has changed. Make sure it's reciprocal. Evidence of reciprocity. Make sure that the evidence is there. Oh, I was watching or listening to a reading last night, and someone said that the Six of Materials to them means a perfect match. I like that. I like that. I'd never got that from this card before. Interpretation of it. I like that interpretation of it. The Six of Materials, reciprocity. Yeah, a good match or a perfect match for you right now. Awakening and realizing just what you're worth and what you are matched up to, right? Because that's talking about that mask and stuff like that I was talking about. Is we can think that we're not worthy of much just because of the way that we were treated by people that thought that they're not worthy. You know, it just gets passed down and down and down, doesn't it? But awakening to what we are truly worthy of, waking up to that and just how much we deserve. It's almost coming into this queen energy, king energy of realizing. See you, Mandy. Have a good weekend. One more. One more. Always one more. Something that struck me, was it yesterday? Christopher with Techie. Does everyone follow him? This astrology is great. And he's a great guy. He posted, I think it was him. Posted some video. Was it a video? Yeah, it was a video saying that it made him cry. And it was this guy retelling this story about when people were nice to him and his dad after something had happened to the car. And it kind of, it didn't make me cry. It was a window of awareness for me that it made him cry, is that I sometimes forget that I'm in this amazing culture now here in Thailand where people take care of each other. It's very different, the culture here, than it is in Western countries. And I, his reaction to that made me realize how it was for me in England and in Australia too. Less so in Australia, it was better in Australia, but in England, how my experience was in that someone with a little bit of kindness would make me cry because I was just so used to everyone around me being so unkind. Whereas here, I'm used to everyone being really kind and taking care of me. You love him too, Beth. He's great, isn't he? He's helped me so much. Years ago, when I first found him, I think I found him through the guy that shouts. What's his name? David something. Leo King guy. Yeah, his stuff is great. I like it. But yeah, it just made me realize now I'm used to people being really kind, being part of people's family, you know? Just just things. I've got some fruit coming today. I ordered some fruit. I order more than I usually get, and then I take it to them and they share the fruit with me too. Some girls came along yesterday when I was training and they wanted to train and they were kind of bartering for it. But they ended up going away, coming back with t-shirts for the staff there at the gym. And he's like, yeah, you can train. But then he sat one of them down and she ate some of the food, some of his food that was there. So she got to eat and the other one got to train. And it's just, that's just normal here. Like, it's just the way that ties are, you know. It's just normal. And sometimes I do forget that it's not like that in the Western world. It's hard. People are hard in the Western world and separated from each other, and it's just so different here. And I so needed to have this experience to open up. 8 of materials. You're going to receive back from all the hard work you've been putting in. We've had that message already. Yes. The hard inner work that we've been putting in, I'm going to receive back from it. You found him through John Edward. I've never heard of John Edward. Yeah. He's great. Christopher Tucky. Another one, doing the work, you know. I used to watch that David guy a lot, many, many years ago, but it's not very nurturing, is it? I used to watch him until I couldn't take being yelled at anymore. I was like, this really stresses me out. I can't listen to this anymore. John Edward. Now I pretty much, occasionally I'll listen to Christopher. He does that long show. If I listen to things, it's in the evening. I'm already in bed. Christopher puts me to sleep. He's great. I don't get to hear it, but I sleep so easily. He's so gentle. He's got great energy. Really. I'm a big fan of his. Of him as a person, you know. I miss his work because it makes me fall asleep, but it's great. Check him out if you don't know. I don't know. He calls himself so many different things. Christopher Tucky, Serious Joy, Namaste Today. He's got too much branding going on. There's other things too. Soul something TV. There's a lot. He calls himself a lot of different things. He needs some help with his branding there. Just choose one. Choose one, Christopher, and be that. I think maybe he's doing that at the moment, choosing Serious Joy. You've seen John Edward on TV. Is he good? You couldn't do the Leo King for long. It's too intense, isn't it? It is stressful. You don't want to be stressed out listening to astrology. It's got a particular style about him. It doesn't jive with me. It does have good information. It's got a lot of drama in there as well, which I'm not into, but horses for courses. He's dropped a few. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I noticed that a long time ago. I was like, oh, why? And it's not just that it uses a lot of different branding like that, which makes it very confusing. But also the way that he talks he's got like sound bites. It can say a sentence that has got 5 different sound bites in it. Do you know what I mean? Makes it very difficult to understand him. It coins phrases for so many different things and puts them all together that it's just so confusing. I mean, it's one of the quirks about him that is really good, but he does it too much to be understandable. Do you know what I mean? I haven't listened to him for quite a while. Maybe a couple of months since I've watched his show. Okay, what else do we need to know here? Things are coming good, but there's shadow work to do at the moment because the veil is thin. We're getting a lot of messages. See beneath what's going on at the moment, especially the triggers. Soul Garden, was it? Soul Garden TV? I don't know what his YouTube channel is called, is what I'm trying to say, because he calls himself so many different things. It's very confusing. What did I say? I don't want this card out, and they've given it me. 3 of Wands. There's a path to be taken here, but we've got to choose wisely and clean up our energy before we choose it. The Emperor said that, right? Clean up our energy before we choose it. That's why we're going through all of this stuff, to clean up our energy before we choose this new path. This is also not about, wait, this is the waiting for the perfect wave card as well. There is no perfect wave. We've got to make a decision and be all in on that decision. It's like, get conscious about it, is what it's saying. Hand cream time. I'll put some stuff on my hair, you can see it. It's like powder stuff, because when I take my hair out, it has this big buffy thing up top, and I've got this powder stuff that is like, gives it volume, but it puffed out too much, and now I've got like it's all over my fingers, the powder, and it's made my hair go white here. So I need hand cream. He has his own language, yeah. He is. And you can tell that he does the work himself, and that's what I like about people. And they're honest about it too. It's big. It's important. You know, there's some people that do in the spiritual community, tarot community, whatever you want to call it, that they think that they need to be perfect, and they think that everyone else needs to be perfect too. And that just isn't helpful, right? And then there's a point that you get past that and you want to be authentic and you're good about sharing. I was told, especially about this show, by some people, that I shouldn't share so much about myself and my stories and stuff like that, that it's whatever. But I think it's important that I do. I think it's important that I do, and I think that those of us that do this kind of work, that do share our vulnerabilities and what we're going through, it's very important, right? It's not helpful to have a teacher that pretends they're all perfect. I understand why people's ego wants that. Like, why should I learn from anyone unless they're perfect? But it's not helpful because we're all human beings, you know. Marriage. It's very polished, Christopher. He obviously puts a lot of work into what he does, and it's all very polished. I love that. It's very professional. Maybe that's what it is. He practices so much that he puts all of his queens, his phrases kind of thing. My stories help connect you with people, yeah. And we all need that permission to be ourselves and to be flawed and to do all of that stuff. I wouldn't be healing if I wasn't. Like, that's why I called myself Be Healing. It was my friend, my best friend in the world. Helped me find that name. He's also the person that has helped me find all the book titles, and he was my proofreader for all of my books as well. My editor, if so to speak. Not really editor. Proofread all my stuff, sent it me back. But yeah, when I was thinking a bit of a business name, he's like, well, that's who you are. Be Healing. You've been it all the time. But that's true. If it's already perfect, there's nothing to learn. Exactly. We've got to be going through it too. And isn't it interesting, like, even a few weeks ago, I thought, I'm all good now. I don't even need to meditate anymore. I'm all good. Like, I wanted a shake up, and boy, did I get it. And now I'm having to heal myself again. It's never done. It gets easier, though, because we've got the tools. Marriage, though. He's got the tools for that shit. Not me, not yet. What even is it? Yeah, I think it's important that I share my stories, even the stupid ones, even the DHL and the fridge ones. Do you know what I mean? I mean, a lot of that is just me needing to get it out, because I am living alone, eating alone, working alone, spending pretty much all of my time alone, apart from when I'm training right now, or when I'm going for my massage. That's the only human touch I get, apart from sometimes Mr. Handsome touches me when I'm doing a leg stretch. I realised that the other day. It's like 2 people touch me. It's weird. It's hard at the moment to be single for that. There's easy things about being single, about what's going on. But it's also hard to be single at the moment because of that lack of human connection right now. Touch especially, that bothers me. It was extremely painful when I couldn't go training and couldn't get massage. That was hell for me. That was really no human interaction at all. Very hard on me. The Tower. Dun, dun, dun. Look, it's a House of Cards. Disruption and conflict. It's a House of Cards coming down now. Anything that's not built on solid foundations, you can't expect to build your house out of cards and it stands, right? If we don't knock these towers down ourselves, that we realize we're built on dodgy foundations, the universe is going to do it for us. Slightest puff of wind, change, trigger, anything like that is going to bring it down. Been alone for almost 5 years. You're okay with it? But like my biggest growth path is around community, is around that emotional opening up, loving and being loved properly more than anything else. Which you need to be around people for that. Oh, you need to do the self-love first, but I've kind of, it's my comfort zone doing that. Self-love around other people. The Tower keeps on coming out. Yeah. Things that haven't been built on solid foundations need to be destroyed. And we can either notice the signs and destroy it ourselves. In other words, walk away from it or make another decision. Or we can ignore the signs for so long that the universe needs to step in and give us a Tower moment. Got the Ten of Rings here, culmination and satisfaction. What else? The Star, harmony and renewal. Nice. So the Tower's good, is what this is saying. There's good stuff. Good stuff coming from this Tower. Either we're breaking it apart ourselves or the universe is doing it for us. It's disruption, yeah. But it's clearing the way for this. Culmination, satisfaction, harmony and renewal. Nice. Very nice. Healing as well, the Star is too. What else shall I get out? Maybe that's it. That could be it for the day. Now let's get one of these out. I need a pee. I'm going to finish very soon. If anyone wants a mini read, you better get in soon. Otherwise, I'm out of here because I need to pee. Love. Bing, bing. It's not about finding love. You are love itself. Help me, Lord, to send so much compassion and caring to the inner child that I always remember I myself am love. We're on the path to love. True love, inner child love, self-love, and then love outside of ourselves. And love is the only way to get there. In other words, self-love is the only way to get there. Loving the inner child is the only way to get there. But what this said. So much compassion and caring to the inner child that I always remember. Always. And I never slip up. We can use everything against us, can't we? To be mean to ourselves. Just always love the inner child and never slip up. Perfectly parent myself. Sacred reverence. Oh, respect is just everything. Self-respect. When someone respects you, it's just like, wow. Only drunk guy married with 6 children has noticed. No brainer, right? It's like you make my decisions very easy. So thanks everyone for coming along. Have a really good weekend. Christine, happy birthday. Have the best birthday. Worth day. Have the best birthday ever. And yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you all on Monday. Don't forget the weekly reads for next week are out this evening, and a pick a card read is out tomorrow evening. And yeah, that's it. Oh, and we've got a new moon on Sunday. So get a new moon reading. Really helps me out. I'm going to have to pay for supplements that I'm not even going to receive. Help me pay for those. Thanks, everyone. Have a good weekend, and I will see you on Monday.